and welcome to my channel. If you are new, welcome. If you've been here for a little while, then welcome back. Sorry if my face makeup's not looking the best. I'm doing a testing foundation video, so I just wanted to go ahead and film some other videos today, but I'm just leaving this on my face and not doing anything to it to see how it lasts. So I'm not sure which video will be going up first, but if you are interested in the foundation on my face, then make sure you check out that video as well. But for now, I'm going to be doing a disappointing / products that just didn't work for me video. And I still love all these brands, nothing against any of them. But I just, they didn't work for me or they didn't work for my skin type. If they work for you, that's great and I'm glad they did. And all these products I did buy, or they came in a BoxyCharm, but I purchased that. So we will go ahead and jump on in. Alright, so I have this box right here of stuff, so I'm just going to go through that. And like I said, nothing against any of these brands. I just personally did not love these products. So, I have this really cute lipstick on my sweatshirt. I wish you could see it. Too pretty. Sad. Alright, so I just have this box of stuff with a few products in it that I didn't like. So let's go ahead and get started. Also, if you're wondering, my sweatshirt, I just made it with this little lipstick applique. Cute. So my first product I got in a BoxyCharm. It's from Ofra. It's just like an Ofra magnetic palette that came with this. I put in there, but this one came with these 6 eyeshadows. It's just honestly not really something I would really reach for. The shadows it came with are Bohemian Iron, Buttercup, Truffle, Smoke, and Millennium Gold. The eyeshadows, I mean, they're not terrible. They're pretty nice eyeshadows, but it's just with it being in this palette, and I just have other eyeshadows and actual palettes that are just more colors I use that I think are a little bit better quality. So just because it was Ofra, I guess I was just expecting to be blown away by it, and I just wasn't. Just thought they were okay. And then my next thing is this blush and bronzer mini palette. This is from Coastal Scents, and once again, it's really not that bad. It comes with 2 blushes, a highlighter, and 2 bronzers. I have used the bronzers. I mean, it gives you this one that you could bronze with, and this one you could contour with, at least with my skin tone. The highlighter is meh. It's more of a, kind of just like a sheen, it's like a matte highlighting powder. But the thing about it is it doesn't even match my skin tone. So, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like that peachy stripe on my hand. That peachy stripe on my hand. So, it doesn't even match my skin tone, so I couldn't use it for a highlighting powder, because in the pan, it looks like it would. But swatch, it's very peachy, so it doesn't even match. And then the 2 blushes, this one's too dark, and I'm just not a huge fan of blushes that are this pink. And this blush actually has glitters in it, and I don't like blushes with glitters. It's just, it's kind of glittery, and when you put it on, you can you can't really tell if you swatch it, but you can see the pieces of glitter on your face. So it was just disappointing. I'm not a huge fan. And then I have this e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer, which a lot of people said was kind of the Benefit POREfessional, which even the POREfessional I'm not a huge fan of. But this one is a white, it feels lotiony, but also kind of silicone-y. And I'm not a huge fan of the way it feels on my skin. And once you blend it out, it just feels kind of greasy, it almost leaves a film. And I don't think it does anything to make my makeup last long, except for just make my face feel greasy and get oily faster, and I don't even really have oily skin. So not a huge fan of that. I also have this, which I'm actually going to use to wipe this stuff off of my hand. So this is supposed to be one of those magic eraser things. This one's called the Makeup Eraser, and what you're supposed to do is get it wet and then use it to remove your makeup. So obviously I've used it. You can see the makeup on it. So I did try and use it, The backside really didn't work at all. It's like a different material than the front, but I know a lot of them you're supposed to be able to use the front and the back and then like wash them and you're supposed to be able to get a bunch of uses out of it. But I didn't find that it like was easy to take my makeup off with. Like I was kind of having to scrub and then there was still a lot of makeup left after, so I would rather just use something else to remove my makeup that I was not a fan of. Next thing is another thing from e.l.f. Okay, so I mean I have hit pan on these. I did use them a lot until I got other things to use, but this is the e.l.f. contour palette. And my only thing is so this powder is very yellow and it like makes your skin look yellow. And then this is supposed to be a highlighter, which the highlighter in it I did use. I mean, okay, so these, you can use it about 3 times and you hit pan. Like there's not a lot of product in here and it kind of cracks up easily. So it's not like I used this a ton. I used it a few times to, you know, see if I did, like if I could like it. And it just happened to hit pan because that's how thin the product is. So I mean the highlighter's not terrible. You can see it on my finger. Sorry, this box keeps falling. But then once you put it on your hand, it's right here. I mean, you can see it, but barely. And it looks like it has like a shimmer to it in this pan. Like it looks shimmery if you look up close. But it's really not. It didn't work as a highlighter. It doesn't work as a powder. This one, and this was the light palette that I got. This one I tried to use to contour with, and it kind of just like cracked up, which is why there's the big hole in the center. And it's not light enough for me to contour with, and I thought the bronzer was too orange. And I'd heard a lot of people talk about this, but then when I actually went to use it, I just really couldn't like it. And like I said, I tried it a few times, but just didn't love that either. And I'll try and switch it up, but this is also another e.l.f. product. This is the Baked Eyeshadow Palette, and this is gonna look gross, but I tried to use this. I tried to like scrape off the top layers on them. I don't know if you can tell. This one I tried to scrape off and used it like once, and the whole thing basically just like fell off. And then kind of the same thing with this one. I tried to like scrape it off and it kind of, the whole thing just like fell off because they're kind of like these little 3-dimensional like balls. I don't know if you can tell, but these, I mean, they are baked eyeshadows, so like they're gonna work the best when they're wet. But even then, it wasn't worth it. The color payoff wasn't good. They were really hard to use. Like when you just touch it, it basically smushes in the whole ball, and then it like looks like you've used it a lot. I mean, it looks really pretty on my finger, but just, this is one of the nice ones. I do really, really like that one. But with the exception of that gold and this brown, but you like really have to dig at them. And this brown is really pretty. Other than that, I just didn't love them. Like I just thought it was a lot of work for what it was. And I mean, it is an affordable price, but they just weren't that easy to use on your eyes. They pretty much only look nice with your finger. And then like this pink shade's like really patchy. This dark shade really like barely, I mean, for that to be a dark shade, barely anything comes off of it. So even for how much it cost, I think it was maybe like $10. I just don't think it was worth it. And they didn't hold up very well, so that was another thing I didn't like. And then this is, oh, I do have 2 more e.l.f. products. I bought a bunch of e.l.f. stuff at once, and it just happened to be stuff I wasn't a huge fan of. So that's why there's so much e.l.f. products. It's not that I just hate e.l.f. because I do really like it. They have some really, really good finds. Okay, so the next thing is this e.l.f. tone correcting powder. It's supposed to be like for color correcting, and it has your yellow, your blue, your green, and then like your pink. So like the green would, you know, you'd use to combat redness. Sorry, it's really hard. They're like a pastel, so it's hard to see with in the lights. The green's supposed to combat redness. The yellow is supposed to be for brightness. Honestly, I can't remember what the blue and the red are for, but so the way it tells you to use this, so like for color correction, you'd use, you know, each individual color where you needed it. The way it tells you to do this is you're supposed to take a brush and you're supposed to swirl them together and then like put that on your face. Okay, so if I swirl my brush in it, I don't know if you can tell, but on the brush you can kind of see like there's some yellow, some pink, whatever. Okay, but when you put it on, there's absolutely nothing there. So it's basically just like putting a translucent powder on your face, so I just don't understand what it's supposed to do, even individually. On my finger it has like a yellow tinge, but you blend it out into nothing. And I know they're powders, but I mean this has a blue coloring, nothing. Green coloring, nothing. Not even really that much of a pink coloring. But then again, nothing. So I just didn't see the point of it. Really, I thought I was using it wrong. Looked up on the website how to use it. I thought it was kind of gimmicky. And another e.l.f. product I have is the Precision Liquid Eyeliner. The eyeliner itself really isn't that bad, especially for the price. But the brush on it is so weird. Like I don't know if you can tell, but it's supposed to be like a thin brush, but it has like brush hairs sticking out, and the brush has like an angle to it. So when you try and do like a wing into your eyeliner, it just goes super, super weird, just because of how the brush sticks out. But the eyeliner itself, I mean, is super black. It's really black and nice, and like it lasted, but it's just the brush. Let's see if I can get like some product off so you can like tell. Yeah, so here's the brush. It's not very thin, and I don't know, it just did not apply very well on the eyes. But I mean, I think if the brush wasn't like messed up, it would have been fine. Alright, and the last e.l.f. product I have is this e.l.f. It's a Scott on the bottom, so I don't know if that's the shade Scott, but it's just a lip gloss. This lip gloss has like chunks of glitter in it, and it is the weirdest consistency. Like, it's not very glossy. It almost is like more pigmented than it is glossy, but I put it on my lips and it honestly just felt gross. It made my lips, it got all weird and like goopy within like 5 minutes. I mean, I know it was only $1, and so I just, got it to try it out, but I do not think it was even worth $1. The color of it, I mean, was really pretty, but the lip gloss quality, not so much. Alright, next thing is not an e.l.f. product. This is by the Brow Gal by Tanya Crooks. So this is supposed to be like a powder to pomade. So it's like a wet or dry, like convertible powder and pomade duo. So I also think this is kind of gimmicky. The powders aren't terrible. I did use them, although none of the colors really suit my eyebrows that much. This one is like dark enough for them, but it's way too ashy. This one in the middle is like a very ashy light color, and then this one is a little bit it's too light and too warm for them. So none of them really just like matched me super well. I could get away with this one and then like dipping into a tiny bit of this one, but I mean, even that still didn't look great. And I tried using them as a pomade wet, and it just really didn't work. Like, it's not a true pomade. It honestly just gets then it just kind of feels like you're putting something wet on your brows. So I didn't think that was great. I mean, the powders for filling them in weren't awful. They are pretty pigmented. You can see those are like the 3 colors. They are pretty pigmented, so that part of them is nice. And if you did have eyebrows that were on one of these colors, like, I mean, if you were like a blonde, like this is a pretty good ashy blonde. But yeah, so for me, it didn't really work out. Next thing is this Buff Collection Pure Cosmetics, which looks almost identical to the Naked 3 palette. I think it is the one that has all like the rosy tones. So I think the colors in this are gorgeous. I love the color selection it came with, but the eyeshadows, geez. The eyeshadows really aren't that great, and I also hate the packaging. It doesn't like open very well because this in the back like stops it. I don't know. In the mirror, so this is the mirror in it. Like, there's no film or anything over it, and it is super blurry. Like, it's not a real mirror, and you can't see in it. Yeah, so I just don't see then what the point of putting that mirror in there was. I don't think the colors are that great. I tried a few of them out. I tried out like this color Done to do like in my crease. The shimmer shades just, they're very, look nice on your finger, but they're very crumbly. And just once you blend them out, they really just aren't there. Same thing with the mattes. Like that matte shade, just, it's not terrible, but I mean, it just really doesn't have a lot of pigment. So I didn't think it was that great. The colors, like I said, are really pretty, but the eyeshadow quality just wasn't fantastic. So I was a little disappointed on that. And my next thing is this. It's the IBY Beauty Trio Eyeshadow Palette. These eyeshadows aren't bad, but my only thing is if you're gonna give, I don't know. I mean, you have a crease color here. You have an all over lid color. You can use this as an inner corner and like a brow bone highlight. So they covered all the bases here, but I'm not a huge fan of eyeshadow trios. So I mean, this is pretty. So I wouldn't necessarily say like this product was disappointing for me. It's just not something I would use because it only has 3 colors in it, and these aren't 3 colors I tend to reach for a lot. So as far as like the quality in the eyeshadow, this honestly isn't disappointing. It's just not something I get use out of. And next up is this NYX Brow Mascara, the Tinted Brow Mascara, and this is in the shade Espresso. And I use NYX brow products. I've used their different kinds of pencils, and I love all those, and they're all in the shade Espresso. But this one is not the same color of Espresso as the other ones. It's a little bit more like of a brown, where my other Espresso ones are a little bit darker and a little bit more ashy that like match my eyebrows. And this one's like a true brown. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's just not really the same color. So that was the first reason it was disappointing. I've tried this for a while to try and make it work, but I have other brow mascaras that I like a lot better that I just don't really want to try and make it work. But the brush on it is really big. So when you go to put in your eyebrows, it gets all above my eyebrows, all below it, and like all over my face. And I can't stand that. I have other ones with smaller brushes that I like way better, that are actually cheaper than this one. Essence makes one for $2.99. The color of it is perfect, and the brush is tiny. It's almost just like the Benefit Give Me Brow. And I think this one was maybe like 10 or maybe a little bit less. So I just think it was a very disappointing brow product for me because I love NYX brow products, but this just didn't do it for me. Another disappointing product for me, I don't know why I keep saying that because this is a disappointing products video, but is this Ofra powder. Not necessarily because of the product, but just because it didn't work on my skin. This is the Ofra pressed powder for oil control, and I don't really have oily skin. So on my skin, it looks very cakey and like I put a powder on it. But one of my friends who has oily skin used it and she loved it. You can see it's like a very white pigmented powder, and it goes on like that, but it does blend out, but it's a little bit thick. So if you have dry skin, it just stuck to all those places. But if you had oily skin, I think you would really, really love this. So the product itself is fine, it just didn't work for my skin. Another one is also from NYX, and it's this color mascara in the shade Purple. So I got this mascara because I got the Cobalt Blue L'Oreal one, I think it is, or it might be Maybelline, I can't remember, and I absolutely loved it. It's super blue, made my lashes look great. So I wanted a purple one, and no one else had one but NYX, so I bought this one, and honestly, it's almost like applying water to my eyelashes. It got a purple tint after a while, but I had to put so many coats on it to get it to show up purple that it honestly just wasn't worth it. It took forever to dry, so it was smearing all over my eyes. It didn't really do much to my lashes. So it's more like one you could put on your bottom lashes, but as far as my top lashes, I mean, it didn't do really anything to them. After about maybe 5 coats, it looked a little purple, but my eyelashes didn't look longer, fuller, thicker, or anything. And I was really, really excited for this, so I think for that, it was just pretty disappointing for me. If I do want a purple mascara for like bottom lashes, I will continue to use it just because there's not a lot of places that have a purple mascara, but it's not great, and it was just disappointing. And then this one is a high-end product. This is the Kat Von D Everlasting Lipstick in the shade Exorcism. And I want to love this so bad, but I hate it so much. And some of her other ones are fantastic, and I don't know if it's just this color or if this is just a bad one, but it goes on so patchy. It crumbles off in the most disgusting way. It doesn't even last for like an hour. And I mean, for like a Kat Von D product and for it to be, you know, that much, I think they're $20. It was not worth $20 at all, but the color of it is so pretty. I love it. It's gorgeous. And it swatches nicely on the hand, but when you put it on the lips, there's something about it that it just goes terrible. I've tried using it with the lip liner and that didn't work. I've tried so many ways to make this work, but it's just so disappointing because I love this color and I love her other lipsticks, but this one just did not work. And then the next one is actually a similar color to this Kat Von D one because I bought a Wet n Wild one similar to this Kat Von D color and I absolutely love it. So I bought a Jordana Sweet Cream Matte Liquid Lip Color in almost the same color because I really want something in that color. And this is terrible. So I don't know if you can see, it's kind of the same color as that Kat Von D one. This is awful. I couldn't even get it on my lips because it was so hard to apply. It was streaky and it was patchy and it felt gross. And I wanted to love this because I've heard good things about the lighter color. So maybe it's just because it's a darker color. But this I did not like at all. I will never use it again. So it was really disappointing because I was really excited for it. And like the color is beautiful. But you can even see it drying on my hand. So patchy. It's the strangest thing. And then next thing is this Indie Beauty Buttercream Antioxidant Lip Scrub. And this lip scrub is like pretty moisturizing. I mean, I've used it quite a bit just because I had it and I wanted to use it. But I like the lip scrubs that you really feel that they're like getting dead skin off your lips. And this one doesn't do that. It's just very like creamy, but it doesn't really exfoliate my lips. And so that's just not really what I look for in a lip scrub. And then my last product is this vanilla powder by Besame Cosmetics, I think. And this is obviously just like a sample, like travel size, but I'm just not a huge fan. I mean, it is called a vanilla powder, but it's very yellow. I don't know if you can tell. I don't want to like blubber, but like you can tell against the red. It's like a very, very yellow powder. And it just looked very like cakey on my skin because where it's like a loose powder, like you can tell it's very yellow. And then when you put it on your skin, like it leaves a yellow, you're not gonna be able to like really tell, but it leaves a yellow tint on your skin and that drives me crazy. So for that, this product was not one for me. So that would be that. And that was everything in my box. I know there was quite a bit of products and I am really, really sorry about that. Just because this video will be negative. There's no other way to do that. So if you're someone that, you know, doesn't like that, I do apologize. But these are just some products that didn't work for me. So if you have skin types similar to me or if it was products you were thinking about trying, I hope that helps you out to know if you did want to buy them or not. But like I said, if they do work for you, then I'm really happy they did. And I do love all of these brands a lot. And so nothing against any of them. I'll continue to use the brands and try new things. It's just sometimes things don't work out. And I just wanted to give you guys my opinion on those. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for coming and watching this video. If you could hit the subscribe button, I would really, 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 really love it. And also if you could give this video a big thumbs up if you like it. I am thinking about also doing a Q&A, so if you guys do want to leave any questions below in the comments that you might have for me to answer in my Q&A, or if you have any video ideas, leave those below, or you can tweet me questions on my Twitter, which will be linked down below, and it's also on the end card if you have anything you want to add for the Q&A. So thank you guys for being here with me today. Everyone have a great night. Bye.